Hey everyone, Zach here with TLP News with an update about Ingenuity the Mars Helicopter. On the 91st Martian Sol, Ingenuity performed its sixth flight. This was the first flight from its new airfield, heading to a third airfield. This flight was designed to expand the flight envelope and demonstrate aerial imaging capabilities by taking stereo images of a region of interest to the west. Ingenuity was commanded to climb to an altitude of 33 feet or 10 meters before translating 492 feet or 150 meters to the southwest at a ground speed of about 9 miles per hour or 4 meters per second. At that point, it was to translate 49 feet or 15 meters to the south while taking images towards the west, then fly another 164 feet or 50 meters northeast and land. Telemetry from the flight shows that from the first leg of the mission, the flight went well, but at the end of that first leg, Ingenuity experienced an in-air flight anomaly. Ingenuity began to adjust its velocity and started to tilt back and forth in an oscillation pattern. Ingenuity continued on its flight, but this behavior continued for the rest of the flight. Prior to landing safely, onboard sensors indicated the rotorcraft encountered roll and pitch excursions of more than 20 degrees, large control inputs, and spikes in power consumption. To understand what all happens, we need to know how Ingenuity flies and estimates its motion. While airborne, Ingenuity keeps track of its motion using Onboard Integrated Measurement Unit, IMU. The IMU measures Ingenuity's accelerations and rotational rates. By integrating this information over time, it's possible to estimate the helicopter's position, velocity, and altitude. The onboard control system reacts to the estimated motions by adjusting control inputs over 500 times per second. The IMU also used navigation cameras to help maintain better accuracy. For the majority of the time while airborne, the downward-looking navcam takes 30 pictures a second of the Martian surface and immediately feeds them into the helicopter's navigation system. Each time an image arrives, the navigation system algorithm performs a series of actions. First, it examines the timestamp that was received together with the image in order to determine when the image was taken. Then the algorithm makes a prediction about what the camera should have been seeing at that particular point in time. In terms of the surface, it features that it can recognize from previous images taken just moments before. Typically, due to the color variations and perturbances like rocks and sand ripples, finally, the algorithm looks to where those features actually appear in the image. The navigation algorithm uses the differences between the predicted and actual locations of these features to correct its estimates of the position, velocity, and altitude. So what happened during Flight 6? Well, 54 seconds into flight, a glitch occurred in the pipeline of images being delivered by the navigation cameras. This glitch caused one single image to be lost, but more importantly, it resulted in all later navigation images being delivered with inaccurate timestamps. From this point on, each time the navigation algorithm performed a correction based on nav images, it was operating off basis of incorrect information about when the image was taken. This resulted in inconsistencies significantly degraded from the information used to fly the helicopter, leading to estimates being consistently corrected to account for the phantom errors. Large oscillations ensued because of this. Despite encountering this anomaly, Ingenuity was able to maintain flight and land safely on the surface within approximately 16 feet or 5 meters of its intended landing location. Ingenuity stopped using nav cams during the final phase of the descent to landing to ensure smooth and continuous estimates of the helicopter's motion during this critical phase. That design decision also paid off during Flight 6. Ingenuity ignored the camera images in the final moments of the flight, which stopped the oscillating, leveled its altitude, and touched down at a speed as designed. NASA is happy because Flight 6 ended with Ingenuity safely on the ground because of a number of subsystems. The rotor systems, the actuators, and the power system responded to the increased demands to keep the helicopter flying. In a very real sense, Ingenuity muscled through the situation, and while the flight uncovered a timing vulnerability that will now have to be addressed, it also confirmed the robustness of the system in multiple ways. Make sure you subscribe to get updates on Ingenuity, Perseverance, and everything space, all right here on the Launchpad. This is Zach with TLP News, signing off.